199.
Hello, hashtag VersTEAv family, and welcome. It's week 199. I'm Aaron Mack, and I'm here with my good friend Kevin, aka Basic Complexity, who will take it away with what makes the number 9 substantial for him. Basic Complexity, Kevin, take it away, my friend.
All right, and just sure I got this camera set right. All right, that's good. Okay, regarding the number 9, the age of 9 really meant nothing to me, nor 19. The only age that stood out to me was 29. And that was only because I constantly heard that 30 was basically the end of everything. I would be old at 30, whatever. Um, so then on my 30th birthday, it was just another day, nothing special. And I'm actually looking forward to 40 because I'm 39 currently. And that's what I have.
Nice. It's funny. There's a term called geriatric millennials, which they're calling us, the older millennials. So they say we're geriatric millennials. And it's interesting because 30 used to be that age that it's it was always like, oh, you're old at 30. Oh, I don't want to be old. Because I remember when I was 24, I was dating a dude who was 28, and he was talking marriage, and I didn't know where I stood on the. I always believed that gay people should have the right to get married. I did not believe that it was what I wanted in my political, because of my political ideologies or whatever. So I was like, you need to be able to find a man before you get old. At and he was 28. I was like, you need to be able to date somebody who will give you marriage. I don't know if I can give you marriage because you're about to be old. Anyway, anyway, yes. So my new song for the week is coming from the this is a 2020 song by Doja Cat, and it is her "Say So Like That" mashup. Let me check my breath right quick. If it's in a dress like this, wonder why I got quiet on set like this. Anyway, oh my god, like I even hurt my neck doing that. But whatever. But yes, Doja Cat. It's so interesting because I'm like, is it that she's an exceptional artist? Like, is she really just that good of a rapper? Like, and because she has bars, if you will, but coming from my generation, it was just a couple of years, but that was a couple of years in my developmental stage, our developmental stage. You know what I'm talking about? That
Yeah.
it used to the saying was always that women don't write their rhymes. It's a misogynist industry for rappers, and only men can write good rhymes because the women on the top were Lil Kim, and everybody was like, Biggie's writing her rhymes, even from the grave, and uh, um, Foxy Brown. And it was like, Jay Z's writing her rhymes. So it's like, That's sort of why I grew up just thinking that women don't write rhymes. But if I was a little bit older, I would have had people like Yo Yo and MC Light and Queen Latifah in my upbringing. And, nobody ever questioned if they wrote their rhymes. They write their rhyme. You know, our friend of the show, the Lucky Lab, is a dope lyricist. She writes her rhymes. So Doja Cat, now in the music industry in general, is such thing as ghostwriters. I don't know. But all of that to say, Doja Cat might be writing her own rhymes. She's dope. And I love that song. And yes, Basic Complexity, your older song. Yeah, in other words, your 30 plus song, right? Your song that's 30 years old or more. Anyway, let me stop.
All right. For my older song, and wow, it's so crazy to say this. My older song is the song title "All This Love" by DeVarge. Now, the song was the title track from the same name album, "All This Love," in 1982. Um, yeah, the song is slightly, and I say slightly older than me, but this was one of the songs that I grew up listening to. I mean, yeah, that was my mom's like music, and yeah, I was a kid, so yeah, I grew up listening to that.
Yeah, I love that song. That's actually one of my I don't know if I classify it as one of my favorite songs ever, but it probably is one of my favorite songs ever. And that's an exceptional song. DeBarge is just amazing, right? They're DeBarge.
Yeah.
And I also grew up with that song. And not
Yeah.
only is it a little bit older than you, Kevin, it's also a little bit older than me. We're both 1983 babies. It's
Yeah,
interesting,
I
though,
thought
how
it
that
was
came out at the
80.
start of the millennial generation. Anyway, but
Yeah.
yep. Oh, right. Now, we would like to extend a special thank you to everyone who tunes in to hashtag VersTEAv199 from around the globe. And it's that time of the time to thank, every one of you. Every single one of you is important. Thank you for sticking with us, for tuning in, and we value you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Nigeria, thank you. Hungary, thank you. Haiti, thank you. Egypt, thank you. United Kingdom, thank you. Germany, thank you. Belgium, thank you. Singapore, thank you. United States, thank you. We thank you all very much. Thank you for sticking with hashtag VersTEAv199. We're at week 199. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you. And we hope that you're enjoying this as much as we are. We enjoy being here as well. All right. Now, yeah, I guess I feel like I talk so much. The topics for the week are just one word topics, and that is hashtag former, Hashtag ghosted. Hashtag married. Hashtag atrocious. Hashtag anger. All right. Basic complexity. Kevin, are you ready to get this show on the road, my friend?
Yeah.
Hashtag former at Gay Magazine. Hashtag VersTEAv199
Yeah, I was. I was. But guess what? My God is a deliverer. And he delivered me. You know, when you're doing the whole social media thing, people will cast their opinions on you. They will speculate. They will make up stories about you. They may even say some stuff that's true about you. And especially with me being married to my wife and some of the videos that we've posted, you know, a lot of the comments have been so wonderful and so positive and so encouraging. But there have also been comments speculating on my sexuality and things of that nature. It's totally fine. Yeah, I was gay. I was actively living the homosexual lifestyle. I was. But I encountered a God that loves me beyond that. And he loved me so much that he didn't condemn me for the feelings that I had. He didn't condemn me for the actions that I took. He did not condemn me for the life that I was living, but he called me with his love. And that same love is available to those that need it, not just those that have dealt with homosexuality, but those that have dealt with addiction, those that deal with rejection, neglect, whatever it is you may be dealing with, going through. He is a deliverer. He still delivers. He still delivers. And I want to encourage someone to know that, you know, whatever it is that you are facing, it's not too big for God. And I know this is social media, so people are going to say whatever they want to say. People are going to do whatever they want to do, type whatever they want to type. God bless them. God bless you. More power to you. Listen. And I know with this community, a lot of them will say, yeah, you're just gay. You're just gay. You can't change your sexuality. You're right. I can't change my sexuality. But I serve a God that can change my heart, that can change my desires. I serve a God that can transform me into his image. I serve a God that loves me enough not to leave me in a place that does not suit his will for my life. And he loves me that much that he would pull me out of something that I was so deep in. I didn't see a way out of it. But he did. He's the way, the truth, and the life. I thank God for Jesus. I thank God for delivering me. And I want to encourage you that whatever you're dealing with, he can deliver you to. So that one day you can have the same testimony.
Come on, everybody. Celebrate what the Lord has done.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Typically in situations like this, really don't even like to comment. So I will simply say, do you, man? I'm not even going into my own personal beliefs, other than saying that, in all honesty, you cannot 100% change your sexuality. Change. Yeah, in my personal opinion, I will even say that if you could change 99%, there that's cool, but you still have to acknowledge that 1% still there, even if it's way in the back of your mind. Just be realistic. And that's all I have.
Well, I'll say that was an issue for me at 24, and that was my with the dude who was like, "Let's get married." And I'm like, "But I don't know," and that was the reason why I was like, "I don't know." Anyway, so I will say my initial reaction to this was I'm partially divided on it. And I'm happy that another human being is happy and happy with their life. That's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah.
Truth be told, in my honest opinion, I do say that any conventionally attractive person can get a viral video by denouncing their homosexuality and claiming to be ex-gay. Like that's just where we are now. And
Yeah.
he is the latest viral one for 2023, right? And it's like not too long ago we had the "I'm not gay no more," and it's my understanding that he actually is. Anyway, I don't need to talk about him, but it's my understanding he anyway. Stop. Anyway, I'll say multisexuality is real, okay? And he can be bisexual, pansexual, whatever, and just cutting off a part of that and being sincerely into what he's into, you know? And I'll say, as for the wedding, I love the woman's Cascading Regina Belle 2004 ponytail edition, diva, very diva. And honestly, truth be told, he probably liked it for the exact same reason. And yes, all tea, all shade, IJS. Anyway, sorry. But my problem with presentations like this is some people will hate themselves because they feel that they are not blessed enough to have an option to switch the other way. They'll feel like, oh, well, maybe it's because I'm not loved that much, because bisexuality is a real thing. And I do believe in the Kinsey scale that most people are somewhere in the middle, but
Yeah.
it's like to varying degrees. So, what about somebody who is on the closer to gay side of the spectrum and they can feel like, well, maybe it's because God doesn't love me that I can't just switch like he did. You know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. That's my problem with presentations like his. And okay. Basic complexity. What's your 1 and 1?
All right. Okay. It's basically do whatever you think works for you, but be honest with yourself, and that's it.
I love it. That was perfect. Yes. And I will take a 1 minute to sort of seal up. Yeah. My problem, because some people will hear that and they will ruin their lives
Yeah.
in pain and confusion. And that's not cool. Ruin their lives in pain and confusion because they don't feel that they have that same blessing because he, being a multisexual person, is I believe that he can be genuinely into her. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was engaging in homosexuality before or engaging with men before and perhaps exclusively, largely because a lot of women, things are changing, but a lot of women don't like men who've dealt with men. So maybe he was just exclude. And I know some people some men who just deal with men because they can't get with women. And that's a thing. But anyway, all of that, it's not cool. So my one sentence is yes. Non-affirming churches are hurting themselves, and media is picking up the worst of their hate and making them a laughing stock. I hope they learn their lesson in time, and I am going to marry my husband at my church, and I am proud of that. Okay? Thank you, Oakland. Yes. Okay. Anyway, but okay. So, are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Hashtag ghosted at Taha likes you. Hashtag VersTEAv199
It sucks that he ghosted me. He was literally like the perfect guy. And it's like, I finally find someone who's so perfectly compatible with me, and he does that. Wasn't compatible with you. What do you mean? The fact that he ghosted you isn't separate from his defining characteristics, like being smart or fun or attractive. It's literally a part of him. You didn't meet a fun, sweet, charming, attractive guy who then happened to ghost you. You met a fun, sweet, charming, attractive guy who isn't emotionally capable of communicating with you, and so he ghosted you. It was a result of his personal inadequacy. He has poor communication skills that would not have been sustainable in a relationship, and he showed that early on in the trajectory of your interactions. So him ghosting you isn't this like separate event that happened. It's him. He is a man baby. And I know you, and I know that's not what you want. And thankfully it showed up early on enough that you didn't waste your time. A lot of times when you like someone, we'll attribute a good part of them to their personality and a bad part of them to a situation or some external factor. That's normal. You like them, so you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But that's not realistic. It's more nuanced than that. Huh. I never thought of it like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. You're really smart. And nice and funny and attractive. You should follow me!
All right. So, I will. My initial reaction is also my connection to this, in that as someone who has ghosted in the past when I was younger, I was honestly a little personally, I took it on the chin, as they say, a little personally offended when he referred to us as man babies. But honestly, he's right. And yes, it is from ineffective communication. And I'm going to go back to this guy because I go back to him a lot because it was a very substantial point and point of my life, point. Anyway, but I remember I dated this, well, no, I was talking with this handsome autistic dude, highly functioning autistic dude. Right before I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And I didn't know how to tell him that my lack of understanding on autism made me uncomfortable. And I didn't know how to express that. So I ultimately just ghosted him. And subsequently, when people do that exact thing to me because of my whole multiple sclerosis situation, I just take it on the chin and accept it as my just desserts. And It's funny. I looked that up because at first I thought it was just deserves, but no, it's just desserts. DESERTS. Anyway, but yeah, I would just take it as my just desserts, and perhaps sometimes I would take it a little too much, accept it a little too hard, and it would be kind of self-sabotaging. Like I don't deserve this because I did him wrong or I've done people wrong, which is that song by Regina Bell that I love, where she says, "I've been used and I've been good at using. I've done people wrong and I've been done wrong." And sometimes I would be like, "Oh, you don't deserve anything because you've done people wrong." Anyway, I attribute my poor romantic communications to my lack of a puppy love stage in school. But not only gay people are deal with issues of ghosting due to poor communications, many people deal with that. So it's not like the lack of a puppy love stage is going to be the reason that somebody is a ghoster or a poor communicator in relationships. And fortunately, I will say, in spite of the foolishness of the previous guy's video, whatever, gay people are getting puppy love stages in school now. So yay for gay rights. Thank you, GLAD. Thank you, HRC. Basic complexity.
Okay. All right. Trust me, I know exactly what it's like to be ghosted because definitely been ghosted before. Um, but as stated, it's good that it happened early on before deeper feelings got involved. And all right, that's I think um well I'll just go on and say this about life experience um that I've had that relates to this has been the few times I was ghosted after officially being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and yeah, it happened a few times. Um, However, although it did suck, I had friends to turn to, so I didn't feel completely alone. And that's what I have.
That's definitely a good thing. Absolutely. Because your friend can be like a mental health counselor who's not a mental health counselor until you're able to get a mental health counselor. Anyway, oh my gosh. Blah, blah, blah. The last thing I did want to say in my 1 minute before my one sentence is I have a thing for dudes with thick eyebrows. I'm sorry, it's just a thing. I've always loved that. Like if a dude has like really thick eyebrows, like his Taha, I looked up like how to pronounce that name. It seems like it's pronounced Taha, but him. Um, I dig that always. Anyway, um, but yeah. So my one sentence is uh, gay or hetero, married or not. Quality communication in relationships is always a priceless skill worth improving. Basic complexity, you're one and one.
Okay. Whenever you're in a situation where you end up being ghosted, then consider it like a blessing in disguise because it probably avoided a meteor or something. And that's what I have.
Oh, right. And for the next one, you are going first, my friend. So,
Hashtag Mary at Faye's Place at TL the Professor. Hashtag VersTEAv199 On screen text. When Pastor's sermon gets a little too real.
You're single until you're married. You live with your boyfriend, y'all have kids, still single. You call his mom, super single. You have joint account and he has stuff in your name, stupid and single. Don't be foolish and stop calling a man hubby who hasn't made you his wife. Stop lying to yourself and accept the fact that your bond with him is not as deep as you thought it was because he won't marry you. Stop lying to yourself saying you don't want to get married and it's just a piece of paper, but yet and still you live with the man popping out kids, pretending to be a wife. Make it make sense. Just say that you've accepted your role as a placeholder, better known as a long-term girlfriend. You have the potential to be a wife, just not his wife. He's going to string you along because you're convenient, but he won't ever commit to you because you're really not what he wants. Don't underestimate men. Men are very smart. He knows exactly what he's doing. That's why you're a long-term girlfriend. Be careful and don't be too comfortable because he'll leave you one day and marry a woman that he met for 6 months because she has standards, because she made him man up, because that's who he really wants.
Notes. In your 30s, you really don't have time for what's your favorite color or what's your favorite food. Are you planning for retirement? Can I put you down as an emergency contact and you'll answer the phone if needed? Hashtag dating life be like.
All right, look, neither one of us really has time or energy to waste, and plus I'm looking forward to a nap. So let's just get straight to the nitty gritty. One, you're physically attracted to me. Am I attracted to you? Okay. Are you single? Is there anyone that doesn't believe you're single? Okay. Let's see. Do you want to be in a serious, long-term, monogamous relationship? Okay. What's your spiritual life like? More specifically, who is Jesus to you? Okay. Are you a parent? Would you like to have a child? Okay. Have you healed from past relationships and or childhood traumas? If not, are you searching for help? Okay. Do you have a legal form of income? Do you have your own motor or electric transportation? Okay. Do you have your own residence? And do you have a sense of humor? Okay. So, based upon your scores, it does look like we are compatible. How fast can you be ready for a wedding?
basic complexity, Kevin.
All right. Then I guess I'm kind of breaking this to two parts. All right. With the first video, um, when it comes to situations like that, then I can say that I fully agree with the pastor 100% because everything she said was nothing but the truth. In regards to the second video, I completely understand the questions he's asking because he is getting straight to the point. And it makes sense because when you're in your late 30s, like myself, game time is pretty much over. It's time to start focusing on your future. And that's everything I have.
Okay. So my initial reaction, so real, period. So real, period
Yeah.
again. At first, I wondered why it would be classified as super single if you call his mom mom. And I'm like, well, why would that give you a higher degree of singleness? But then I really thought about it critically. And I was like, oh, you know what? But by you sort of pushing in and calling his mom mom before you're actually married, it's kind of like you're peaking too soon. You know, it's like you've reached your peak too soon. You're already in the family. You know, you've already made your place in the family, so you have no more room to grow because you're already a daughter without marriage. So what else is there? And calling him hubby kind of sounds the same as like wifey. It's one of those almost but not quite classifications, you know, that's like about something that's not quite marriage. And if you show that you accept that almost but not quite thing, that's what you get. And again, it's like you're peaking too soon. And as for the guy's video, at 39, I am very much there right now. And it took me a while to get there, but I'm there now. And unabashedly so. And yes, nap. I love how he's like, because I'm about to take a nap. I'm like, I know that's right. It's time for a nap. Yeah, because sometimes it's like that when you get a little old. Anyway, like I'm looking forward to a nap. But yes, and mutual attraction is important, and also a mutual long-term a mutual desire for a long-term connection is important. You both have to want that, you know. And also, I just wanted to give other points because it is beautiful how soon he asked the marriage question because it is like that, you know. It's like that, you know. Are you ready for a marriage? We ain't kids no more. It took, like I said, since I have a couple extra seconds, I'll say, it did take me a very long time to get there, and it was after I crossed into 30 that I started to be ready because I used to believe, just like him, that the first guy, that gay marriage, while other people should have it, I didn't think it was for me, and it took me a long time to overcome that. But I've overcome it since then. Basic complexity. What's your one and one, my friend?
Well, I guess it's just one. Um, and it's basically that it's time to really get things in order with your life. And yeah, that's all I have.
My one sentence is when you know, and things don't have to drag. Facts. All right. Are you ready for the next one? And I'm first for this one. Oh, I wanted to explain. Trigger warning, people. Trigger warning. FYI, trigger warning. Okay. We're getting a little deep in the proverbial weeds, if you will, the weeds of atrocities in the world.
Hashtag atrocious at Jacori Vegas. Hashtag VersTEAv199D1.
Most Africans believe that Adolf Hitler was the worst man in history because that is what school taught them. But was he? No. Adolf Hitler only went down in history as the worst man because he killed white people. There were leaders who committed worse atrocities than Adolf in Africa, but they did not go down history as the worst. Someone like King Leopold of Belgium chopped off the hands of young African children for not collecting enough rubber. The parents of these children would then be forced to take pictures holding these chopped parts, so they would send postcards to Belgium. The people of Belgium would in turn celebrate these acts by making chocolates that imitate the chopped parts of African kids. The chocolates would be sold in their supermarkets in honor of King Leopold. As a matter of fact, they even had statues of him honoring him for what he did in Congo. King Leopold of Belgium should have been the worst man in history.
I said trigger warning for a reason. I get triggered every time. Anyway, my response, atrocious is atrocious, period. Hitler was atrocious. Leopold was atrocious. And I remember hearing this one dude, a Holocaust survivor, explain that part of what Hitler would make people actually get in acid. Excuse me for cussing, but get in acid. And I'm like, what the? That's atrocious. Making people get in acid? Get out of here. And it's like, ugh. Our friend, storyteller, mentioned on hashtag VersTEAv in his hashtag VersTEAv interview that colonialism was slavery at home, while slavery abroad was slavery abroad. Colonialism was slavery at home. And I remember speaking with a good close connection of mine in Africa about that, and I was like, "What are your thoughts when you hear something like that?" And he agreed, and he sent me this video, and I was like, "Wow." you know? And yes, Leopold was atrocious. And I mean, postcards of parents holding their kids' severed hands, like, all of this is just triggering me again, and it's ridiculous. And they would sell chocolate treats to people as a tribute to Leopold, chocolate treats of severed hands. Like, how disgusting could you? Oh my gosh. Both men make me shudder and cry, and that's just true. Like, while I was setting up these videos and all of that, and I'd have to watch it to like edit and all that stuff, it would make me shudder and cry. Like, that's oh my gosh. Just to think about what people were put through. Oh my gosh. And don't even get me started on gator bait babies. Okay, Florida. Don't even get me started on gator bait. But yes, groupthink can make humans truly not value the lives of their human siblings, seeing them as not human. Sage George Carlin spoke on this. Again, atrocious. Base complexity.
Okay. There, in general, there are many things. Now I'm speaking as far as the United States. There are many things that are never taught because I have never in my life heard of something that horrific. Same thing with, well, for those of you that know Black Wall Street, as I've grown older, I've learned that I had to educate myself on some things because our education system is not the best. And that's what I've
It certainly can leave a few things out, to say the least. And uh, anyway, oh right, are you ready for the next topic?
yeah.
Hashtag anger at The Daily Show. Hashtag VersTEAv199
Thank you, Cable News. Now, at the top of the anger food chain are the politicians who benefit the most from our outrage because politicians know that rage equals donations. That's why they're constantly pushing stupid culture war issues on us, whether they're real or completely made up.
This morning, a new warning about the dangers of misinformation spreading online and making its way into political races. And this latest claim that some school districts are providing cat litter boxes for students who identify as cats.
The first sign of the rumor in the U.S. appears to have been this Michigan school board meeting last December, where it was discussed by a parent without proof, then shared on Facebook by a chairwoman of the Michigan Republican Party, referring to furries, the false story snaking its way across the country, and now into Republican stump speeches.
Have you heard about the litter boxes stuff?
Yeah.
Yes. If we don't push back on the craziness, it's not going to end.
A cat. They put tails on and they demand that they have a litter box in the school.
Not because there's actual cats in the room, but because there's kids going around licking themselves as though they're cats.
We've literally got kids who think they're cats and dogs using litter boxes in classrooms.
No, you don't. You literally don't. Kids are not trying to shit in litter boxes in school, or at all. I mean, most kids won't shit in toilets in school. Are you kidding me? Other kids might know that you shit, and that's a secret. This is how I know it's a lie, because they don't have one example of it happening, not one. But that didn't stop them from spreading it because it benefits them. So long story short, if you're wondering why you're so angry all the time, it's not a coincidence. The system is designed to provoke you. And politicians like this system because they profit from it. They survive from it. They can say anything as long as it's what their audience wants to believe.
All right. There's complexity.
All right. Well, first off, I just want to say I love Sarah Silverman. That was hilarious. Now, after hearing and researching this, I can honestly say that it is a complete lie. I am completely open to someone proving me wrong with valid proof of litter boxes in schools because that isn't real. And that's what
It's like, where in the world would, anyway. But yes, there's always a deeper plan, eh? And critical thought, yes. Independent critical thought is rare. And Walton and Johnson, I would listen to that show in my younger days. Walton and Johnson used to call people sheeple because, yes, people can be like lemmings and just buying anything. Yeah, Sarah Silverman is right. And I don't think that, yeah, I don't think that I ever defecated in any of my schools for those exact reasons. And even if furry people don't think critically, just believe, mm, even if, right, even if furry, e- people just don't think critically and just believe whatever they want to believe without doing any kind of research. Critical thinking, you know, and whatever they want to believe is true. And it's funny because even watching the clip that Sarah Silverman had, and I've been a fan of Sarah Silverman's since the Sarah Silverman show. And also, as a kid, I loved the show Dr. Katz, which had her older sister, Laura Silverman. Anyway, little known fact. But it's like the game telephone because you saw the guy talking about it started off as people wanting litter boxes because they're cats. Then the other guy was like, people want litter boxes because they're cats and they lick themselves. Then the other guy was like, people want litter boxes because they're cats and they lick themselves and they also want to be dogs. And it's like, what? Like it was just like the game telephone. And yeah, litter boxes for cats and dogs, that's kind of whatever. But people are easily inclined to believe this kind of thing because I believe that the people who believe that there are kids going around wanting to be like cats and dogs, probably believe that their parents put that on them as well. And they believe that that stems from the fact that we're allowing gay and trans people to choose to be gay and trans. So the next step would just be, oh, they're just everybody wants to be whatever they think they want to be. And it's ridiculous. And yeah, I think Sarah Silverman is dope, a great host post Trevor Noah, who is also great. Anyway, my one sentence is we spend too much time with pop media uncritically vegging out and getting angry while we veg out. Get outside and enjoy the day. You might meet someone special. Anyway, basic complexity.
Um. Okay. Basically, I guess going out, getting just fresh air, and not taking in all that, I'll just say mumbo jumbo, which typically isn't true, would be good for you to clear your mind, push all that crap out, and yeah, just clear your mind.
Very well done, my friend. Now, I don't particularly have anything for the timeless tea, unless not today, because we don't need to talk about be upfront if you cheat. Tell me what. Were you the one who said something about be upfront if you cheat? Tell me.
I did say that at some point.
Okay. Let's talk about that because yeah, I think this is one of those things that on which we explain yourself with that, please.
All right. Yeah, because I definitely had an ex that cheated on me. I don't know how many times. I I stopped counting after 5. It's like, all right, however many times he cheated. Um, and I'm like really just own up to whatever alleged mistake you made. And it's better for the person to just admit it from jump than to be like myself and find out from a third party later on, because that is embarrassing.
You know, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily that we particularly disagreed on this point, but I do want to bring up the fact that it's like, just tell me if you cheat. Not everybody is comfortable with being honest like that. And I think about a friend of mine from years ago who told me about this guy that he dated, and he was, you know, very sexually open, my friend. And he was like, yeah, you know, if you want to sleep around, that's fine. Just let me know who you're going to do it with before you do it and all that stuff, so I can take my necessary precautions. And I might want to see, you know, I might want to join, you know, but just tell me. And I remember he was so hurt because the guy slept around on him but would not tell him. And he's like, I told you that it's okay if you want to sleep around. Sex is not that big a deal for me, or at least I don't put that much weight on sex. I do. Aaron does, but he was like, I don't, but just tell me before you do it. But that guy was just too uncomfortable to tell him before doing such a thing, you know? And
Yeah,
sometimes that's why people don't want to tell because they're
but
uncomfortable.
on some level, that just sounded like a open relationship. So, but just communicate that is so easy, especially if the other person is telling you they don't care that much. Just let them know. Then I don't understand the problem.
Huh. You know, you call it an open relationship. I'm not sure. Well, I guess to a degree it must have been some sort of open relationship. But
Yeah.
open relationship doesn't mean there are no rules or request of rules.
Right.
It doesn't mean just go out and do any and everything, because you still have to be safe, you know?
Right.
And but ooh, and oh my gosh. I'm honest with you all at hashtag VersTEAv. I can't help it, you guys. I tell my story. I do. I dated a dude who we had gotten to the point that I, you know, sensed some things and sort of knew that some things were going on. And I was like, you know what? If you want to sleep around, that's okay. Just tell me before you do it. And his response was, I don't want an open relationship because open relationships ruin the relationship. And I was like, so you want to stay closed in a relationship, even though you've already stepped outside of the bounds of the relationship? You want to close it back? It's like, yes. And I was like, okay. And he stepped out. It's outside the bounds all over again and again and again and again. And it's like people, I think it's like I don't know if it's, and I'm gonna want your opinion on this, but I don't know if it's that it's a power play that people like the power of being able to do this thing that they're not supposed to do, and people like having to sneak around to do this thing that they're not supposed to do, as opposed to doing it out in the open. It just feels like, oh, well, you're just making me do this, you know, as opposed to, hey, I have to keep it on the low, keep it on the low, because you don't want to be caught. So there's more of a mystery to it if you have to keep it secret. What are your thoughts on that, Kevin?
Well, like I said before, in all honesty, I think they should just be open, even if you cheat, just own up to it and say it from jump instead of letting the other person find out down the line, however. Because that's only gonna cause that other person more emotional pain.
Dare I say, oh, go ahead.
I ain't said nothing.
Oh, I think I heard the echo. But yeah, you know, I question how much a person who cheats cares about that other person's emotions. So when you talk about it'll be easier on them, easier for them to take the pain. It's like I don't think they're thinking about the other person's pain at that time. And also telling of their escapade. Let me take you on an escapade. Let's go. Telling them about your escapades, that takes away the power of working to keep something secret. You know, there's fun in keeping something secret. I it's not something that I want by any means. I'm just trying to understand the psychology behind it, and I think that's what the psychology is. As far as if you cheat, tell me. I think that there's also a joy and perhaps even a sexual arousal in going behind the person's back to
Could be.
do this thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. How many minutes? 1 and 12. Okay. Anything else, my friend Kevin, before we wrap up?
Wow. I'm just amazed, about to put myself on the spot, but I'm just making a point. When it comes to the entire cheating thing, and I'm going back years. Alright. Um, just with my first boyfriend, yes, technically I did cheat on him. However, I told him that same day, and I was like emotionally just completely right. And actually, he had to tell me to calm down. Yeah, because I was just done. But yeah, at the time, I might have been 18 at the time. Um, and yeah, I definitely fell for the very, well, at least to me, very old saying of, well, let's just chill. Now, at that young age, I took it extremely literally. Like, chill, hang out, whatever. I didn't think he was gonna try to start nothing.
Suck a dick,
More or less.
more or less. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Nah, you're right.
You know, and this is timeless tea, so we can go anywhere with it. I I was thinking, and I was gonna be like, I don't think I've ever cheated on anyone in my life, and that's close to true. I will say though, once I think that there was a time, and perhaps only once, perhaps, that you know, I felt that he had checked out of the relationship. So I was like, well, if you're not going to call me 15 times a day and you're only going to call me 8 times a day because you don't love me, that means that you're checking out of the relationship. So I can check out of the relationship too. And I met someone. It's amazing how it goes in your 20s. You know, when you're in your 20s, it's back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Anyway, but yeah, I met someone and I was like, well, I guess he's checked out, so I've checked out too. And then we I sex is never that huge to me. So I don't think it was meeting him for a hookup necessarily, but it might have been just meeting for a connection. I'm trying to think of that song. And I found someone. Oh, I can't think of it. What is it? Oh, Lady Gaga. Oh my gosh. And I actually love this song by Lady Gaga. And this needs to be one of my throwback songs one day. But there's nothing else I can say. Hey, do you know that song? Nothing else I can say. A from her
Nah,
first album. There's nothing else I can say. Anyway, sorry, but yeah, yes. So I found and I found someone, and I found someone. But now when I listen to that song, I use it for the positivity within it. And I found someone good, not found someone on the grounds of checking out of another relationship that he hadn't checked out with me, you know. But I found someone on the. Let me stop. So yeah, like I said, it wasn't so much. It was emotional cheating. I guess like a stereotypical woman, you know, in that I checked out because he was only calling me 8 times a day now. So I was like, I guess he doesn't love me really, you know, and I checked out emotionally and emotionally cheated. What are your thoughts on emotional cheating? Then we can bring it to a close. How many minutes? Not too many, but yeah. What are your thoughts on emotional cheating?
emotional cheating. I don't think I probably have, but I don't think I've ever been in that type of situation. Um, although I know emotional cheating does exist, I just had no firsthand knowledge of it.
Yeah. That's the feminine energy because it's like we let me stop. Well, I was going to playfully say we don't need everybody to run up in us, you know, but quite frankly, but you know, sometimes you do just like that romantic time with someone, you know. Anyway, at 39 years old, I am so far past those days. I am ready, like the dude said. Oh, I hope I don't look back at this video. I'm like, oh my gosh, you had a huge. Anyway, but like the dude said, in the 30 and marriage thing, like I'm there now. You know, not as soon as I hit 30, but like mid 30s, I was like, you know what, it's time. And I get that, you know, like when it's right. You know, and it's like you have a little checklist. Okay, this, this. Okay. Can I also say just as a side note, admirer, and I believe he's heterosexual. I don't know. I always assume everyone's heterosexual and unavailable until proven otherwise. But oh my gosh, he was fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, he was. Anyway, oh my gosh. And, you know, before the show, I told myself I wasn't going to say that. I apologize, but I said it. But yes. But yeah, you know, when it comes to the whole marriage thing, it's like I I think I'm ready now. And like I said, when you know, you know. It doesn't have to take an extremely long time. And I found someone. All right. Do you have anything else, my friend? How many minutes?
Oh, I was just gonna add, as far as the whole marriage thing, um, yeah, I think I've been ready for marriage, like, since my early 20s.
It wasn't even legal in your early 20s. What you were one of those
No,
people who's gonna get a civil union?
I guess whatever it would have been.
Or are you talking like you would have married a woman?
Oh, that I knew was not gonna happen.
You know, I still remember, huh? Oh, I think I'm just hearing the echo. But I still remember one guy, a friend. He he's legitimately bisexual, right? You know what? I'm not gonna tell that story. I have so many stories, you guys. I don't have to tell everything right. Uh, uh, like squeeze it all in. Anyway, anything else? Basic complexity, Kevin.
No.
Okay. All right. Hashtag VersTEAv199 family. Thank you for sticking with us. We love you all very much, very much, very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, very much. Thank you. Like Whitney Houston did the applause to you when she was like pushing the clap back. She was like, "Oh, thank you, applause to you." She's so deep. Anyway, and I I will hold my peace on that. But hashtag VersTEAv199 family. Again, thank you. This has been week 199. And you know what that means. Next week is 200. So we hope you enjoyed this week. I'm Aaron Mack, and definitely check out next week and just check us out all the time. Hashtag VersTEAv, hashtag VersTEAB. We're everywhere you want to be. I'm, I got that from the American Express card. It's everywhere you want to be. But we're all over social media. I'm Aaron Mack. You can email me at AARONMCK at VersTEAv199 and I was trying to just casually point to it, but whatever. But yes, again, we're all over social media. Hashtag VersTEAV. And where can we find you, Kevin, aka Basic Complexity?
All right. Definitely on what's it, VersTEAV.com. And
Complexity.
yes, screening basic complexity and spell it out for you. That's BASICCOMPLEXITY at VersTEAV.com. And with the name, and I always have to make a note of this or point it out, like take the two words basic and complexity, mash them together, new space. So it's basically two C's between the basic and the beginning of complexity, no space. So yeah, just BASICCOMPLEXITY at VersTEAV.com. And I could also be found surprisingly on wanna say Instagram under basic complexity. So if you have any questions, definitely hit me up there also. And yeah, let it be known. So question about the show if you have one. And you could contact me there. Also, I'm also located on TikTok. And I don't know why I keep
Basic Complexity.
I'm sorry.
My Basic Complexity.
Thank you. Because I definitely forgot. All right, so and you said that's TikTok, right?
Yes, sir. And I will add that you are truly a beloved treasure on TikTok because your TikTok videos get a lot of views, my friend. People love them some basic complexity. IJS, but continue.
Say what?
IJS, I'm just saying, but continue.
Oh. Well, yeah, on TikTok and the I already said Instagram, so TikTok also, and it's something else I'm forgetting, but definitely those two. So yeah, I really can't think of anything else. But if you have any questions or anything, yeah, feel free to hit me up.
All right. Yeah, technically, you named the three. TikTok, Instagram, and your email. And normally, when I would be like, well, and your Twitter, you'd be like, I don't use Twitter. I'm like, okay. But yeah, those are the main ones.
My Twitter account
is
was
defunct.
Yeah, it was definitely hacked, and now it's probably suspended. And I really don't care because there's too much mess going on with Twitter. So I will graciously decline Twitter for now.
So I'm putting that down as another possible topic.
But
Freak Twitter and Twitter in general.
Well,
Not topic, but a timeless tea. So you can expand upon that mess that from
it's
your
a
perspective is going
segment.
on. Anyway, this has been week 199. Yay, 199.
And
We will talk.
join us for 200 next week.
Yes, 200 next week. We thank you for every week is special and appreciated. Thank you. And next week is 200, which is a big deal.
Yes.
And we want to make it like extra special for you too. All right. Talk to you later. Hashtag VersTEAv family. Peace. VersTEAv199.com. And I am pointing to it, but if you could lift it. Other way.
There we go.
All right. Hashtag VersTEAv199.com family. We'll talk to you later. Peace. VersTEAv199.com. Stay blessed. Have a good night.